Woo! I didn't mean to leave you on a cliffhanger there. Okay, pun intended. Welcome to SINSPIRED. I'm Alex and here to inspire you to develop a growth mindset. Last month, I went on a family vacation to New Zealand. It was our first time there and we visited the South Island for 10 days. I figured it would be good for you to take a break from my educational and inspirational videos to see how I have been inspired by the beauty of New Zealand. This is SINSPIRED after all. Because there's so much to show, I have split this into 2 parts. A link to part 2 will be in the description when it is available. Now, let me take you on a trip to New Zealand, South Island. Our first stop is Christchurch, the largest city on the South Island. We checked out the botanical garden. It was quite peaceful after raining for a bit. Their rose garden is what they're known for, with all the colors of roses you can think of, including my sister Natalie? Nah. In the evening, we walked around the city. There wasn't much, to be honest. I thought this trolley was interesting though. The cathedral was under repairs from the 2010 to 2011 earthquakes, so we couldn't visit. We got dinner at a Spanish restaurant called Casa Publica, where they even hung the skewer. I slept so well the first night and woke up to this view. Because of rain and wind in Arthur's Pass, we had to change our itinerary to visit Akaroa. It still rained like cats and dogs with heavy winds. The main highlight was getting coffee at Crater Cafe, where I finally took the time to learn the different types of coffee and realized that Americano just isn't my cup of coffee. We drove a couple hours back to the eastern edge of Christchurch called New Brighton to look at the beach before heading into the town. Again, many stores were closed and barely any people, almost like a ghost town. Hopefully, the trip will get livelier. The next day was a beautiful day, so we decided to go to Arthur's Pass to make up for yesterday. I was immediately amazed by the green fields and massive mountain ranges in the distance. The first highlight is the Devil's Punch Bowl waterfall. It's a short hike and has great scenery along the way. And there it is. Yep, just Natalie being funny, and oh look, it's our parents. On our way back, we visited the Castle Hill Conservation Area. Apparently, this area used to be underwater, and now you can see the rocks that stick out. People typically spend 30 minutes to 2 hours hiking and climbing these rocks. Now we hit the road again to our next stop. Lake Tekapo. We were starving, and I devoured this nicely put together bento at a Japanese restaurant called Kohan. We probably drove 8 hours today. So now it's time to get some rest. And And yes, Natalie and I were roomies. Wow, waking up to this view. Today is my first time driving on this trip, and in New Zealand, the driver is on the right side. Your transmission and signal lights, wipers are reversed too, but the gas pedal is still on the right side. After brunch, we walked along Lake Tekapo. This is the Church of the Good Shepherd and is the most photographed church in the entire world. Just listen. And this is just the sinblings fooling around. It's a video.
I know.
What the heck are you doing? It's on camera. On our way to Aoraki, Mount Cook National Park, we stumbled upon a flock of sheep and had to stop. Now this is what I call Animal Crossing. Welcome to the Hooker Valley Track. They call them tracks instead of trails. This one is 6.7 miles round trip and features 3 suspension bridges. Enjoy the hike! At last, we finally made it. Look at that. Black ice. And in the background, Mount Cook. It was so worth hiking all the way to appreciate all this nature. In the evening, there was a zip line at a playground that I just had to try. It's like that sliding thing in elementary school, except here you won't jam your fingers. One more thing about Lake Tekapo is that you can see stars clearly at night. I was able to see the Milky Way with my naked eyes, and I was so fascinated. I wanted to take a photo with my phone. I didn't have a tripod, so I just put my phone on the ground and counted to 600. This photo is the result. Wanaka was our next stop, about a 2-hour drive from Lake Tekapo. This town was definitely more touristy, with more restaurants and more people walking around since coming to New Zealand. It is a resort town after all, with a population of about 9,000. Our goal for the day was to go to Mount Aspiring National Park and visit scenic spots, including the Blue Pools. After a 20-minute walk, we arrived. Look at how blue-green the water is. It was getting late and restaurants closed early, so we drove back shortly. We were walking along Lake Wanaka until we spotted a tree in the lake. This is thatwanakatree. Yes, there's a hashtag. It's a willow tree and is perhaps New Zealand's most photographed tree. And there's Natalie creating a video for her montage. These clouds look kind of different, so I took a photo. For dinner, we ate at an Asian fusion place called Wana Fusion. Back at our car, some random person put a mushroom on our windshield. I mean, who does that? And this mushroom could be poisonous. I wouldn't touch it, so I just used the windshield wipers as I drove the car and said, "Away with you!" Te Anu was our next destination, but we stopped at Arrowtown along the way to use an old toilet. All right, Natalie, how does it feel? This is the historic Arrowtown Chinese settlement, a partially restored 1880s village for Chinese gold miners. Take a look at these huts. They're so small and some were built into the hills. Now you can be grateful for the home you currently live in. Looking back, I thought about whether people panned for gold on this stream and wondered if there was still gold underneath. This was an interesting experience learning another part of Chinese history. Thank you so much for watching part 1. Give this video a thumbs up, comment below with your reactions, and subscribe to my channel, SINSPIRED, for more content on how to grow your mindset, and for part 2, which will talk about what happened at the cliff hanger. You've been SINSPIRED today. Ka kite ano.